We appreciate it, though. Okay. Very nice, very nice, very nice. You know.
You build Bible.
You do. Really good stuff here, gang. You know. As you guys know, lots of stuff to cover today. We got Dallin and Astrid from Toll Brothers. Mohammed's here somewhere. He's in the back. Stacey's here somewhere too. There she is. Okay. So lots of stuff to get to. Let's see what we got here. Let's get rid of this, Timbo. Bum, bum, bum. Let's get rid of this. Okay, here we go. We got to move this thing, Wayne. If today's kind of a busy day besides the meeting, if you're interested, there's a CE class at noon with Lee Dreisen. We all know Lee, at least you should. He does a free CE class, usually 1 credit. And you might say, Tim, why do I want to go for 1 credit? They're usually really good topics. And I think this one is either on probate or estate planning, okay? Because a lot of that is happening now. You have deals that people are in a trust, or they ask you how to take title. And of course, what's your answer when they ask you how I should take title?
Talk to your CPA.
Or?
Trust. Call Lee Dreisen.
There you go. It's called Lee Dreisen, right? We usually throw that off on Heather. There she is. We throw that off on Heather or the escrow officers. You know, that's a title.
They won't answer the question.
That's a title question. But they'll give you the really nice form with 87 options of how you should take title. But at least it comes from them and not from us. That's my point. You do. She has that form. I've seen it many times. But Lee will talk about that today for an hour. If you're a mentee, please show up at 4 o'clock. Us at the Northwest are doing our every 3 or 4 month mentee mingle. There are 29 mentees that are getting awards. Go figure, right? There's got to be an error here with Suzanne or something, you know. But 29 mentees in the last year or so have graduated from the mentee program, and they're now on 100% commission. So I know, I'm kidding, of course, I'm kidding. But they've worked their butts off, and it's usually fun. We'll have some alcohol, we'll give some prizes away. I think Heather will be here, John Morgan will be here, Damon might make a cameo appearance, you never know. Carrie Meyer will be here. She's going to California, so hang around for that. All right, here we go. Okay, here's some numbers, gang. They haven't changed a whole lot for active in the last, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Damon?
Share.
Please.
So week over week, last week, you guys know what percentage down we are in sales? Week over week. 19%. Week over week. We'll see what happens through the rest of August. You guys know what our median sold price is week over week from last year. This is from last week. It's at 469.9 right now. We're at 485 through, so we'll see. There's a couple indicators to pay attention to right now, just to see where we come through August. Now we might pull through it strong in August. We did in July. Mm-hmm. We had a week or two we were at 475 median, and we ended up back at 485. But we'll see how we come out at the end of the. So you got to fight hard right now. Let's share those numbers. You got to fight for what you get right now. Okay. Pay attention to the market and being all legal, so you can educate your sellers on prices. That's the thing, since listings are sitting, you need to know what's going on with our inventory right now, so you can have better conversations with your sellers.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be getting a listing next week. Good friend of mine lives in Southern Highlands. The last couple sales were 600, 610 back in March. Now it's not 600 or 610. It's 580 or 560. His head's going to explode when I tell him that. That's why I'm giving it to Wendy. Wendy's going to handle it. Okay? But yeah, he's going to be really disappointed because they don't follow this stuff like we do. Okay? But I think what's finally happening, what Damon said, we've seen the inventory go up and up and up the last, it's up 50% from last year. But the prices never, the median or average sales price didn't drop all that much. It really didn't, which was really odd. But now it's, like Damon said, it's starting to drop. Because this month we have 1,000 single-family houses sold in, what's today, the 21st? 1,000 homes in 21 days. Last year, for the month, we had 2,100 sold in August of 24. So we're less than half with 12 days left. So sales are difficult. All the buyers are going to Toll Brothers and buying a new home. That's where they're going here, gang. They're all going to goddamn Toll Brothers, okay? And they're going to tell us about their great incentives just for Realty One Group agents later on, I'm sure. I'm sure. So keep an eye on the numbers, like Damon said. You guys should pull them up every day. Your matrix should be set up when you log into Matrix. The stats should just pop up. You can default it to active and sold, and click the bottom left, and it'll tell you what the numbers are. Okay, we send them out to you on Mondays.
And what happens is you guys get into this stuff, so you just Tim's so great and send this out every week that you guys just you scan through it and don't even pay attention.
Yeah, we do.
You really need to dissect it and say, okay, what does this mean for a buyer? What does this mean for a seller? And have a couple of key bullet points that you would say, hey guys, listen, right now, last week we're showing 19% down in sell. We need to price your property correctly. Or buyers, hey, right now, you're seeing the median sold price drop. We might be able to come in with a lower offer on this property and get you some good incentives. So you just need to leverage this data to have better conversations with your buyers and sellers. That's the importance of this.
Right. You should always know, since our office is in Summerlin, how many homes are in ER status in Summerlin. You should know that. Not the exact number, but it's usually between 500 and 700 for years. That's usually how many homes are in MLS in Summerlin. Okay. One time I did a search under 500,000. There was 4. There was not that many under 500,000, if you know what I'm getting at. So use these numbers, but make sure you're doing it on your own too. It's really important that you put your own spin on it. Okay. The Best of Las Vegas is coming up again. I can't believe it's that time again. Yeah. We're all excited. I could tell we're all excited. But Rock Title does really well.
Yes, we do.
You guys have won. Did you guys win?
Yeah, I believe so.
Right, last year or the year before?
Many years in a row. I'll tell you next meeting how many times we won.
Okay.
It's been a lot.
Yeah, they really have. And I think as a company,
Thanks for voting every single day.
like in New Jersey, vote early and often. Okay? You can vote as many times as you want on this. It's crazy. So, but as a company, I don't think we push it, but I know some of our agents have, and some of our teams have won awards for Best of Las Vegas. So anything that's Realty One Group, click, 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 click. Come on, let's give them some support, okay? There's Rock Title, okay? It started already. Who knew?
Yeah, Monday.
Oh, it started on Monday. Okay.
With Rock Title, I think you have to go to the finance category. They moved it out of.
We're trying to move it back, but it was placed in the wrong category.
Yeah.
It should be in the real estate category, but as of now it's in finance.
Gotcha, okay. Other stuff that jumped out at me the other day, Suzanne does a great job of this. Who's been here? Mary Perry has been here 17 years. Who knew? Lori Smallwood, 17 years. So it's cool seeing this every now and then for agents that have been here a long time. Or even the new ones, like where's Diana Parks? Is Diana here? I thought, oh no, she's been here a year. Can't believe it. Seems like 10. Just kidding. But she's been here a year already. So it's funny how time flies. But
I'm up there.
Mirich, what are you, 2 years probably, 3? 2, wow. Heather is still a licensed
I have a
realtor,
license.
just so you know.
I don't travel there.
There you go, okay. If you're curious about our charity, One Cares, we get this from corporate. Suzanne helps put this together. These are all of the things we've done as a company throughout the year so far, giving back to the community, whether it's in money and volunteer hours, planting trees, really good stuff that the company does. So if you do any volunteer work, you can document it in your zone account and get some acknowledged for that, throughout the company. So if you're volunteering somewhere on the weekends or 3 Square or the rescue mission, see Suzanne if you don't know where it is, and you can go into your zone account and document all that. It's kind of a good thing, okay? The summit is coming. Tony Robbins will be there, along with Brian Buffini. Hopefully some of you will go. Well, it's a long trip. It's not cheap, okay? But Kuba says it's going to be amazing. So if you can, save up some money, close a deal now and then, get a nice ticket, spend 3 or 4 days in Miami in November. It should be a lot of fun. Also, some stuff coming up. Don't forget about the training calendar. Rock Title, again, did a great job. Scan that baby, and you will see something much prettier than this when you scan it, okay? But just so you know what it looks like, it'll look like that. The last of the free core classes from Matthew Cobb is next week, okay? So I've gone to all of these. I'm almost done with my CE that's not due until May of 27, meaning I've done so many in the last month or two, for last year and for this year. So he's going to be here next Wednesday. He'll probably be in the Northwest in a month or two. We're working on maybe getting Steve Kitnick to come here. Okay? We all like Steve, right? Steve's a good guy. So he might be coming and doing some classes too, okay? But the good thing about Matthew is these are the core classes. It's not general. It's not a Lee Dreisen class or, you know what the general classes are. These are the core legal, ethics, contracts that you need, 18 of them, okay?
Don't wait until the last minute to do your CE.
Speaking of that, okay?
Several agents that wait till the last minute and then their license expires.
An agent called up the other day, said, Suzanne, I don't understand, my license expired. How come? Whose fault is it that it expired? No, it was Suzanne's fault. Suzanne's fault. We send out emails 90, 60, 30, 20, 10, and 4 days before the license expires. You get a ton of emails from us. So please, stay on top of this stuff, guys, okay? We can't have you do a deal and your license is expired. You know, we're going to get in trouble, you know? I mean, we can't have that happen, okay? And it's free. You don't even have to pay for the classes, okay? So please, stay on top of your stuff as best you can. Tech Tuesday is back with Maria, just so you know. We had our first one last week. 8 or 10 of you were in here. Really good stuff. I think she covered transaction desk and templates and SkySlope. Okay? So mark that the third Tuesday of every month. Maria will be doing Tech Tuesday in here.
Is that recorded?
we recorded it.
V, did we record it?
It's too much going around.
Yeah.
It's more of a hands-on class. Like you bring your laptop, and she's teaching something in SkySlope, and you're stuck, or whoever, she'll come over and help you for 5 or 10 minutes in the other class. You know, so it's hard to record those. It really is. Rev Up is starting next week. So those of you that are new, most of the new agents have been to Rev Up already, but come take another class if you want. Okay, that starts next week. Onboarding, September 3rd. I'll be doing it. It's 90 minutes that you need to jump on the Zoom call. It's only 90 minutes. It's fast. You get to meet all the vendors, and we give you all the scoop on Realty One Group, okay? This happens all the time. 2 weeks ago, I got a call from someone that couldn't get into the Southwest office on Sunday. Why couldn't they get into the Southwest office on Sunday?
They went the wrong
They went to the wrong door, okay? They went to the wrong door, okay? If they came to onboarding, they would have known which door they should have gone to, okay? So if you've never been to onboarding, jump on that for a little bit. All right, gang. We have a plethora of guests here today. And the first one is none other than Mohammed from Cutco. So Mohammed, come on up, big fella. Have any of you ever purchased Cutco for your clients before? Yeah? I have, many over the years, okay? Yeah, you still do it, right? Okay. And he'll tell you the big benefit to doing it, money-wise, what they get, what we can do with that when we buy it, from a marketing point of view, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Unless that's changed.
Good
Yeah,
morning,
something like that.
everyone. It's great to be here. A lot of new faces here, new faces as well. You know, it's been the best meeting of your guys' life when you let that guy speak first, right? So for those of you who haven't met yet, I'm Cutco Mo, the sharpest guy here in town, and
I get it.
you guys about the most profitable areas of your guys' business, which are the clients that already know, like, and trust you. You guys have probably heard this stat before, but according to Forbes, it's actually 5 to 10 times more expensive to acquire a new client than it is to work with the ones that already know, like, and trust you. 5 to 10 times more expensive to get new clients than work with the ones you guys already started doing business with. Another interesting stat, and I'm going to do a little trivia right now, but NAR, they do a survey every single year. In what percentage of the population say they love their realtor, would love to use you guys again, and send you guys off referrals? You guys know? On our website. 87%. That's great. 87% of homeowners say they love their realtor, would love to use you guys again, and want to send you tons and tons of referrals. Now, what percentage actually uses that same realtor for future transactions? Anyone know?
40%.
Try lower. 12%.
So you see, hear what he just said? 87 would use us again, but only 12% do. Why? Why is it only 12? Okay, and whose fault is it if they forgot about us? It's our fault. We don't keep in touch with them. So,
Last trivia question. What percentage of the population can name their realtor after 2 years? 8%. What that tells us, you know, as Tim mentioned already, is people love you guys. They want to use you guys again. The challenge is people are just forgetful. They have a lot of things going on. You guys aren't top of mind. It's like, hey, who's that guy or gal? Man, I can't remember. I'm just going to Google. I need someone. I'll just find whoever the next person is that I find. Now, as a company, we found a way to solve those things, both of those things being remembered with one thing, which is the type of closing gift being given. Because when you guys think about closing gifts, what are the most common gifts that you guys give out?
Pizza.
People love pizza, right? What was that? Okay. What else?
Hopefully home warranties.
Home warranties? And you never given out like a gift card before, or a basket, or a plant, or a puppy? So, I'm not here, by the way, to say your clients don't like what you give them. Everyone loves a gift. Who doesn't like gifts? It's free. When you think about those gifts, where are they 36 or 40 months later?
And a stomach.
What happens to the gift cards, the plants, the baskets? They eat them, they drink them, they spend it, it's gone. Generally, gifts really aren't that useful. All of a sudden, that's a gesture, right? When you're just trying to build a long-term relationship with your clients, it makes sense to give them a gift that only can last them maybe a couple weeks or a few days. Yes, no, maybe. No, okay. So, curious to know, who here has Cutco at home or even out as gifts? No. Yeah, one person?
No,
I'm doing a very good job here today. So, if you guys aren't familiar with Cutco, how long have you had Cutco for?
15, 16 years. In California.
15, 16 years. That's awesome. What's your favorite thing about it?
It's good. It's clients remember because they use my favorite date and they see your name every day.
Perfect. Okay, cool. People love it. They use it.
Well, it's costly.
Yeah. So, if you guys aren't familiar with Cutco, we're like the Snap-on tools of the kitchen. They're all American-made kitchen knives since the 1940s. They're guaranteed forever. We also make knives for the military. You guys familiar with K-bar knives as well. And what we do is we take the Cutco products and we brand it with your guys' logo, your name, and your info rather than a product like this. Does a couple things for your guys' business. What's the most common room used in the home? Kitchen. Number one tool used in the kitchen is a knife. This is how it's being used. So their friends and family are hanging out. They say, hey, where'd you get the red handle knives? Where'd you get the ivory handle knives? And they're like, you know, Tim, our realtor, help us buy this house. He's awesome. You should call him. And then 6 months later, hey, who's that guy we're talking about? We're actually in the market. We're thinking about listing our home. Now, I guess that referral because the conversation was smart. You guys can hang out with every single one of your clients, every single one of the parties, and get together. What do you guys think can? The Cutco. The second thing I want to talk about really quick is the IRS guideline around gifting. Do you guys know what the legal limit is you're allowed to write off per closing gift? $25. Doesn't get you a lot nowadays, right? Because these are engraved with your logo on there and your information, it's considered advertising and marketing, just like your first sale signs, your business cards, and every other thing you're spending money on. It's 100% tax deductible. Our goal isn't to add a new expense to your guys' business, but take the money you guys are already spending and actually get the full tax deduction that you guys deserve. The last thing I want to talk about is having a good system in place. So when you guys think about closing gifts, when do they generally get purchased? In the last minute, right? So on the way to closing, title, escrow. So you guys, anyone here ever like stop out at the grocery store, grab a bottle of wine, basket, and gift cards during that time? And so we've done a lot of research. We found a lot of your clients typically have kitchens in their homes, and they typically eat. So the gifts work out pretty well. We do get you guys a small supply of gifts ready to go. So you do closing, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year anniversary gift. Grab the gift set, hand to your clients, then your guys are done. Don't think about it. Gifts prices anywhere between $50 and $300. What you guys are spending anyways. We do luxury gifts for your luxury homes. We cater our program to whatever works best for you as a business. You guys do 12 deals a year. We get you 12 gifts. You build over 12 months to make it really good cash flow. Things are really simple. To wrap up, this is always one of my favorite offices to be here, and so I love giving away free stuff. Does anyone here like free stuff? Maybe I should probably talk to you this morning. Anyway, so you guys want to go ahead and grab out your cell phones? I'm going to give you guys my information as well. If you guys have any closings coming up, if you have anyone in your business you want to appreciate as well, go ahead and text your name. It's going to be different than the number on here as well. It's going to be my office number, so that way we keep track of it all. But and if you guys need anything for the holidays for your top VIP clients as well. So go ahead and, my cell phone number is, actually we'll use this one. It's 847, it's the area code, 847-769-1908. Again, that's 847-769-1908. If you guys want more information or the gifts, just text your name and the word sharp. So I know how to follow you guys after the class as well. If you guys don't want any information on the gifts, just text your name, don't text the word sharp, so otherwise I'll follow with you. So what do you guys got to do to get into the drawing? Text your name. And if you guys want more information on our gifts.
One more time, Mohammed, 847?
847-769-1908.
It's right there.
It's right on the slide.
The slide's going to go away in 8 seconds, okay? For you guys that are butting in, okay? You know? Okay.
And, the very last thing as well, because I know I'm out of time. I actually,
Shoosh.
not to report to you guys, but I have this really big goal this year. I'm actually, I'm about
Where's the number now?
$1,000 away from hitting Hall of Fame with Cutco. And so, what I'm gonna do as well, because you guys are gonna sell a lot of houses this year, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay, cool. First grade answer. So what I'm gonna do for anyone, you guys know you're gonna need gifts for your clients anyway, so for anyone that wants to place an order while we're here today at the meeting, I'm gonna buy you guys an additional $150 in Cutco. It's my gift to you guys. Just to get you guys started with your gifts. You guys are gonna sell a lot of houses, you're gonna need some gifts anyway. So, appreciate you guys. The end.
It's really good stuff, guys. And the fact that you can write it off is I think, a little bit of the home run also. It really, really is, okay? There's the number. Now it's gone, so it's here, okay, for all you guys, all right? We have, I tell you, Damon, I'm ahead of the curve, baby. I'm way ahead of the curve, okay? We have 3 home warranty companies that we partner with, and they're all fantastic. But of course, today our favorite one is State Your Brain from Old Republic Home Warranty, so come on down, State Your. Hey, and I put this up here for you guys. See, on your next listing, you have to add, I shouldn't say you have to. There's no reason for you not to have seller's coverage, which I'm sure Stacey's going to talk about.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, ultimately, because you have a new construction company here, I was going to talk a little bit about new construction. But yes, seller's coverage is, I'm giving you my chips and salsa analogy. So it's the free chips and salsa before you order the entree. And if you want HVAC, it's Glock. So Glock is the extra part, but it's a low cost or free minimal coverage for your seller during the listing that protects them from a certain dollar amount, but it can help from derailing a situation or, a transaction. The garage door doesn't open the day before you're supposed to close. We cover the motors on the seller's coverage. Dishwasher seizes up once they are at the inspection. That's covered. Electrical, plumbing, water heater, labor and parts, it's minimal, so there's going to be permits or code upgrades or modifications that are due, but somebody has to end up coming out of pocket $600 to get a brand new hot water heater, or they wouldn't have any out of pocket usually for a dishwasher, and that's our most common replaced system during the listing is a dishwasher. People use it for storage and never run it, and then we run it when they clean it out and get their house ready. Motor seizes up, and if we can't fix the motor, it's getting replaced, and it's a maximum of $3,000. It's not gonna. If you have a $1,100 dishwasher, it's not going to give you a $3,000 dishwasher. It's going to give you a like-for-like system, but it's not going to derail the sale because all of a sudden somebody has to renegotiate because there's an appliance that's not working. And they pay a trade call fee just like anybody would with a plan, so it's a $100 trade call fee, but just think if you got a $2,000 dishwasher for $100 and your house closes, or, and everybody at the end of the day gets paid. To me, it's just a value add that doesn't take a lot on your end. I have a digital flyer. You can text me, but you might have to give me your number if you're not in my phone. You can email me, and I'll send you that digital flyer. Just give me your name so I know who I'm responding to if you're not in my phone. But I'll send you that flyer. It's just something that gives you a value add that somebody else might not be offering. And if it turns into a paid buyer's policy, we have less of a reason early in the life of that plan to deny something because we have a history on it that it didn't fail during the listing. So on day 3 when the AC is out, not that I put that out in the universe, but that's usually it's really hard on a move out and move in on the AC in the summer, and it works harder because nobody's turning it down and the doors are open and moving stuff in and out. And so if it doesn't fail during the listing and you have HVAC coverage during the listing, it's really highly unlikely that we would deny that claim early in the life of the policy because it was working just fine during the listing. So it gives, for $70 to add that, it just gives a world of risk protection for you and budget protection for your clients, which is kind of what I was gonna. I had an incident yesterday with an agent on her own home, and I just wanted to give you kind of a timeline of how things happen. So let's say you have a claim and you call it in or you put it in online. We have a round robin that gives you a dispatch. Does that person necessarily have immediate availability? Not necessarily. We require our service providers to respond to you within 48 business hours. That doesn't mean that you can't reach out to them. That's why you get a notification of the claim. Set up an appointment. If for some reason you personally or your client has a priority service, it's flooding, it's 110 degrees, reach out to me. I have a team that helps me, and it's usually a same day, I get a same day response, but she doesn't only help me, she helps a couple other account executives throughout the nation. So if I reach out to her, she might be on a call or in the middle of a claim. It's, but it doesn't, sometimes I have claims that are done within 3 hours. Sometimes I have claims that are done in 3 days. Sometimes if you have Samsung appliances, I have claims that finish in 3 months because Samsung is the bane of my existence with parts and availability. But I'm here to help facilitate things. I can't promise you, we are budget protection, but we don't always cover everything. It depends on the level of plan. This summer I was at the emergency room out of state. And I had a $3,600 bill, even though I have really good insurance because I have to meet a deductible. So it helps me not have to pay the whole bill, but I still have a responsibility. And I'm willing to have those conversations with your clients to set the right expectation, because it's not always, sometimes you walk away with just paying that $100, and sometimes you walk away with paying a little more. But if I can have those conversations and set the right expectation before they have a problem, then it doesn't create so much anger or anxiety or, an unrealistic expectation that I can't provide. But to the new construction people, if there's incentives, and I'm totally switching gears here, we have a new construction product that if it's standing inventory and the builder warranty is about to expire, it can start on day 1 of closing. But most people choose it as a start on day 1 of year 2. It goes for 4 years. And if we hit the next slide.
Next slide, yes. Where are you? There it is.
There's a silver coverage which does not bundle washer, dryer, and refrigerator for $720. Gold coverage is where I would go all day long because it also covers the labor on systems that are under manufacturer's warranty. And washer, dryer, refrigerator, $1,040, and that's 4 years of coverage. So if you have some kind of closing costs, where a bona fide closing cost, this is a great thing to pop in there. It can be ordered up until month 11, because if they're not in a transaction, there's a 30-day wait. But this is a great touch point to reach out to anybody you've sold to in the last 9-10 months of new construction. And it's a great thing to potentially offer or suggest if you have something right now, because it's a wonderful bang for the buck. So I'm happy to answer any questions. My cell number is on this flyer, which I will also happily send to you if you would like. My email, if I don't have you on my phone, please give me your name so that I know who you are. And I will answer any question. I'm not on a recorded line. Let me help you. And give me a try. If you've tried others, maybe I can be a backup. So thank you so much.
Station, everybody. Hey, before, no, Heather, come on down, Heather. Heather's with us, gang. Rock title.
Okay, I'll be quick because I know we have a lot of speakers here. Okay, yeah, so next Thursday after our meeting, please come to this. Even if you use our NetSheet app all the time or you use list reports, I'm going to go into the calculators. There's 3 new calculators that I was on a call yesterday with, I think it was Tom Ferry and Palm Agent. Really cool stuff that will help you in your business. So if you don't want to wait till next Thursday, play with the calculator. It's already on there. The updates are there. Again, that's Rock Agent. But stay after the meeting next Thursday, and I'll answer all your questions keep you up to speed on this. First Wednesday of every month, I have a speaker for my senior housing professionals. This coming meeting, September 3rd, 10 to 11, it'll be an attorney that specializes in elder law and power of attorneys and all that too. So that will be informative. I just posted my CE class. That's going to be, I think it's the 17th or 18th. I'll keep you guys updated on my 3-hour CE on senior playbook, all in marketing to seniors. And then if we have a second, I was going to pull up one little website, but I can be quick here. Tell me if I have a second.
Oh, sure, great.
Okay. So we talk about all of our different websites, like one Rockstar, so you guys can get all sorts of stuff. But if you just go to rocktitle.com, we have our rate calculator here, so that takes you right to our NetSheet app. So you can do that. We also help all of our resources. So we have marketing services for real estate agents, title professional services, buyer and seller. Spend some time in here. So under buyer and seller, all those nice paper guides that we have, the PDFs are on here. So you guys can go through there. And again, this is at your fingertips, so just Nevada, scroll down, okay, a little too fast. So here are guides, if you click on them, they're all PDF. We also have 10 steps to buying a home, first time home buyer facts, tips for timely, you get the point,
Heather,
tons of
speak
stuff.
up just a little bit to those guys.
Yes.
So you guys, when you have a buyer or a seller, pre-listing, you can send them the seller's guide. When you start working with the buyer, just grab that PDF and send it to the buyers. You don't have to print it out. Just send it to them so they can go back through it. They'll create a file with the whole transaction. It's pretty cool to have those, I think.
Yeah, and when you're at open houses and people ask for that, that's a great opportunity to say, can I get your email address? I have this on email, let me send it to you, so you can stay in contact. And then again, we have tons of stuff, so sometimes it's knowing where to find it, but just go to rocktitle.com, and you don't have to remember One Rockstars, because One Rockstars is great for our calendar, and it has all of like the templates for Canva and all the different stuff you can do on the back end, but this is probably more front facing for you towards your clients. So just go here, getting your home, a lot of our flyers that you see in my office, you're gonna see all this stuff right here. So, all right, that's all I got. Hope to see you guys next Thursday after the meeting.
All right. Instead of a Netflix and chill, it's Rock Title and chill, right? We can do that here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do to my thing here? You're killing me here, Jesus. I tell you, it's hard to get. Gang, before we have Dallin and Astrid come up real quick, I just want to. How many of you went to the forum, the MLS Tech Forum? Anybody go? Right? Not too bad. I mean, the food was better than I thought. I really liked the food. I swear to God, usually the food's horrible. But I wanted to mention to you, one of the multitude of handouts here is the Cuba Casa. If you're not doing this on your listing, you're doing a disservice to your seller. It's free. Okay? They have a $15 version and a $65 version if you really want to impress your sellers. But you need to have floor plans in your listing package and to put on MLS. I think at MLS Tech, one of the speakers said that 87% of sellers are disappointed in agents because they don't have a floor plan of their house in the listing.
That's not what he said.
He did say that. Or say 86%. Okay? But the point is that
Floor plans in the MLS sell 50% faster than listings without floor plans. Only 10% of our listings right now have floor plans in them.
the point of it is, gang, is that on your listing appointment, you're going to talk about seller's coverage for free, and you're going to talk about how you're going to get a floor plan on all the portals, and that's going to enhance your chances of getting the listing, or validate the value of the commission that you're hoping to have on the listing agreement. That's all these things are, gang. Okay, and they're free. Well, they're not free. You pay for it in your dues. Okay, but it's really. Actually, the guy Kat from LVR, their head trainer, is going to be here in about 3 weeks to train us on a bunch of LVR stuff. Okay. All right, kids. Dallin, pick a number from 1 to 15.
7.
7. Who is the winner, Suze? Number 7.
Dougie.
Doug Miller? Oh, unbelievable. Jesus. Well, he just won a bunch of swag here. Okay. Will 1099 you for that? Just saying. About $12. 1099 is coming. As you guys know, we don't have a lot of builders come out. We have 4 or 5 out of the 50 that want to come in here. So we say no to most of them. But in all honesty, Toll Brothers is probably one of our favorites. Going back, is Ernie still with the company?
Unfortunately.
Yes. Remember Ernie, Damon? Remember Ernie used to come all the time, right? Yeah. So Ernie's moved up the ladder, I guess. He's.
Ernie's my sales partner. I work with him all the time.
Oh my God, Ernie's a piece of work, to say the least.
He's the best. He's out of the country right now.
Oh, of course he is.
He's doing Ireland. He's
Of course he
actually
is.
been with the company for 20 years.
Yeah.
So they pay for everything.
Good for him. Yeah. So they've been coming out 2 or 3 times a year, bring us a great breakfast, tell us about the great incentives. I mean, nobody else gives us all this cool stuff, guys. Look at this. Holy moly, how much money do they spend on this? All right. So, Jesus Christ, But ladies and gentlemen, Astrid and Dallin from Toll Brothers, come on in, gang. Woo-hoo.
Please, hold on.
Yeah, standing ovation here, you know?
I'm too humble. So yes, you can see, we had a little bit of staffing changes recently, so now we've got lovely Astrid here.
Cora's here in spirit.
Yes, she's here in spirit. I'm still here though, so we're going to fill you in on a little bit about what Toll Brothers is doing in Summerlin, some of the communities that we work at, as well as Cora, again here in spirit. We're going to fill you in on what she's doing right now. So, Toll Brothers, though, if you guys aren't familiar, we are America's luxury home builders. So, we don't compete on price as much as we compete on quality. So, we try to provide an amazing product, an incredible home that a buyer is going to remember, and we have a lot higher repeat buyers than other builders for that reason. So, you'll notice a definite difference in the quality when you walk through a Toll Brothers model than you would with another builder. So. Who has been to a Toll Brothers model home before? Great, everybody. Oh, I gosh, love it. I am a little bit partial to Realty One Group myself. I actually am licensed with Realty One Group in Utah, so I wear the gold in another state. But yeah, Toll Brothers is actually pretty new out there, so a lot of people aren't familiar with them. But here in Vegas, they've got a pretty strong brand. A lot of people have at least seen Toll Brothers homes or are somewhat familiar with the brand. So. We gave you some handouts. The community that I'm at is Cordillera, so I'll tell you on what that is. That is our townhome community that is right off Summerlin Parkway, or the 215 and the new Summerlin Parkway exit that's going to be there. Summerlin is building a massive project that they're calling the Urban Core. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it is going to be very similar to downtown Summerlin, and it's a 300-acre project that's right next to that exit. So right now they're doing all the road construction, but we are placed directly adjacent to that, along with Ravens Crest. So those are our two townhome communities. They're both 3 stories. So if you have a buyer that's looking for a single story and cannot do stairs, do not send them our way. They will have more than enough stairs. The other thing that we offer is the rooftop deck. So if you have somebody who needs a view, perfect for second homes or lock-in leads, we have very low maintenance, beautiful townhomes, and then again, that rooftop terrace provides a lot of homes with some beautiful vantage points at the balcony. So, and Astrid will fill you in on our single-family home in the area.
Yes, so I am in the community that's called Glen Rock. We are one of Toll Brothers' newest communities here in the city. We like to keep it simple. We have 4 different floor plans, but in reality we have 8. So we have 2 single stories and 2 two-story floor plans. The single stories, however, we have a few variations. We have a basement option, that's a walkout basement, or we have like a pop top up top. So it's definitely a unique product. Our models are supposed to be open, I want to say October, November. However, on Saturday we have a model preview event from 10 to 12. So if you want to stop by, if you have family, clients, whatnot, definitely stop by. We're gonna have light bites, we're gonna have a raffle. It's gonna be a fun community event, so.
And where was this?
Glen Rock. So it is gonna be a little bit up Bar Hill. So let's say on 215 headed west, you're gonna make a left and just keep going up.
What price?
So the starting price is 1.5. So on average, most buyers can expect to be in the low to mid 2s. We are offering an incentive of $100,000 for dirt builds. We have, towards options, we have 2 quick move-ins. One quick move-in is completed, no options can be chosen. The other one, there's certain selections that can be done. They're both priced at the upper 1.8, 1.9. Our broker co-op is 2% of the base price. And
When you guys move
homes,
Yeah, when will be somebody be able to move in?
October, November timeframe.
Okay.
Soonest one is gonna be October. And a little birdie told me that we may be offering additional incentives for visitors on the weekend. So it'll be a great time to, if you have someone that is interested.
And the single stories, what's the starting price?
1.5.
And how big are they, Astrid?
They're gonna be anywhere.
What does it start?
Yeah, 3,000.
Nope.
However, let's say if you're interested in the 2 stories, they're gonna be closer to the 4,000s, 5,000-ish.
Question, have you guys seen any buyers like that are particular to a certain incentive? Just curious. Like if it's closing costs or special interest rates.
What are your incentives right now? Are you guys buying down the rate or anything?
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of everything. Like we've tried whether we give incentives towards, like, you spend a certain amount on options, we'll give you half price on options, and then we've also tried giving a certain amount of money to closing costs, and then we've also tried doing interest rate promos. So at my community right now, we are running a 3.5 first-year interest rate promo. That is on select quick move-ins, but I was just curious to know, we've had some incentives that do better than others, but just curious if there are certain appeals to buyers. Is it interest rates? Is it?
Rate buy down's been really popular.
Okay.
Yes, and definitely some for closing costs.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you want to come this weekend. What's the best time? Anytime.
So we're there 10 to 6. We're told the light bites are gonna be there between 10 to 12. So anytime. And if you guys have buyers, let's say you guys can't make it this weekend for whatever reason, we do ask that just give us a heads up if you do try to show the model, just because this is an active construction site and now we're towards the end. It's kind of hard to get in there, but we can definitely make it happen.
There's no product to see, there's
The quick
no models,
movements,
right?
no models.
Okay.
But even the quick movements, they're active construction sites, so make sure you wear comfy clothes, shoes, you may get dirty.
Where are you boots? There you go.
Okay, it's a spec home or is it someone else?
So one is gonna be a spec home, because we have two quick movements. One is fully completed, meaning like everything has been selected, it's just being worked on. The other one, a buyer can select hard surfaces, so flooring, tiles, countertops.
And our price point for Summerlin is anywhere from $600,000 on the low end up to it's really at the high end when you're getting up into the $2 million price point. But we do have townhomes that are in the sixes. So we even have a couple that are like high fives. So definitely doable if somebody wants a Toll Brothers house and they are looking for that quality. Send them our way. We'll take care of it.
And then I do want to add to this, because I was just transferred to the Summerlin community. I actually come from the same townhome community in Inspirata. This is a great time, especially if you're working with a first-time homeowner or someone who is kind of nervous to purchase another home or their new home. We're offering really great incentives, especially in the townhome communities, that it's just incredible. So
Do you offer single story on any of them?
She's got single stories.
I might have missed it, sorry. Okay.
She has single stories.
Okay.
A little
Is
higher
that
price point, but yeah.
Okay, is that a seniors, that's 55 over, or no?
we don't have any
Okay.
active 55.
Okay.
Yeah. But we have a lot of variety for different buyers looking at different price point products.
Wage,
Yes, so total is gonna be $200 a month. That includes the master plan. There is a SID, and that's $1,000 biannually.
So Dallin, if I'm bringing a buyer there and I want to promote Toll Brothers, what the incentives might be, like Damon was kind of, what are you comfortable with us saying in the car while we're driving to you? That we can buy down the rate, that we can get a discount on the upgrades? Like, what are you comfortable with? All of the above, we can say? Or,
Yeah, that's a great question.
you know,
because it always, you know,
we don't want to say the wrong thing and you get there and,
and then also
Yeah.
like Tim, don't combine.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
So great question. So with the 2-1 buy down, it's a very particular buyer. You have to have 20% down. You got to have good credit. So sometimes it's hard when you like fix them on a certain interest rate and then they just can't go away from that interest rate. They're set. So sometimes it is nice to just say, hey, they've got some great incentives going on right now. It varies per home. So let's see if we can find you the right home and then see what incentives they're offering.
Okay.
Because usually it's the same amount of money, but just depending on if the home's fully complete, we may use it in a different way than we would on, let's say, a home that's a dirt build.
Okay, makes sense, gotcha.
Question, just because I live out in that area, and obviously there's one stories, but we're just seeing so many of these 3-story homes going up. Is that like the plan out there? Is just to be a majority 3 stories?
Yeah, well, I think that with Toll Brothers, that's kind of the route they're going, just with the cost of land. It makes more sense to do 3 stories because then you can get a much bigger like living space on that second floor. So we've seen a lot of appeal with that, and then the rooftop decks are obviously just fantastic. So that's the route Toll's going right now. We aren't seeing any like 2-story townhomes.
It seems like the other builders are kind of doing the same thing, like right there, like between like Mead and Far Hills, there's
Yeah.
so many
Cost
of
of
them.
land, cost of land.
Yeah.
And once the urban core is done, you'll see it's going to have more of that kind of like downtown feel.
Okay.
So I think that is kind of why the trend's going that way.
Okay.
I took my buyer there at Cordillera last week. What was the rental restriction again?
So at Cordillera, we do allow you to rent right away. It just has to be a 1-year lease minimum. So we actually waive the Summerlin primary residency requirement, so you can rent it at any time. We do occasionally get investors. I would say it's few and far between though. It's mostly second home buyers coming in that are maybe in California or maybe out of state, and they just come to Vegas enough to need a second home. So we see a lot more of that, but we are open to investors as well.
Regarding the floor plan on the Cordillera, is it the third story loft that you get to by elevator or stairs? And then is this a 2-story unit, or is it a single, I mean, the first level is 1 story, up the stairs to another residence, and then elevator up to the third?
They will all be 3-story townhomes.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Oh.
There's no elevator in them either. Raven's Crest is a little bit larger, so they've actually reconfigured the plans to accommodate an elevator. So that has the option, but at Cordillera, slightly lower price point, but you're gonna have no elevator option. It's gonna be 3 stories, all stairs. But they are built in a way that you're really gonna be living on the 2nd and 3rd floors. So that is one thing I like to tell buyers is, yeah, it's 3 floors, but you're really not going up and down 3 floors constantly. It's more like you're living on the 2nd and 3rd floor.
I'd like to add one quick thing also, Dallin. Let me know if you hear this often. Now, the way townhomes are being built is that they actually don't share a wall. So if you have a buyer that's interested, but it's kind of like, I'm scared of the noise, just let them know that, especially in the Cordillera community, you have a firewall in between, and on each side of the firewall, there's gonna be some space. So in the years that I've worked at Cordillera and Amimada, I haven't had any noise complaints.
Yeah, but it's attached one. It's all attached.
So from the exterior, it's gonna look attached, but the actual units are not attached.
They're built like single family homes, just really close together. Any other questions? Yeah.
CSRPH is 200 per month. There's no community pool access, so there's no clubhouse or something.
At her community, no, right?
Correct. The Glenrock.
Glen Rock, no. At Cordillera, we do have a pool, and Ravens Crest will have a pool. But right next to the new urban core that Summerlin is building, there is going to be a massive park with a lot of amenities. So while there isn't amenities within the community, they're within walking distance of both of our communities. You're going to be able to go use everything Summerlin has.
So this urban core is going to be like another downtown Summerlin? Is that what you're describing it as?
That's what they've said.
That's what they're saying? Okay.
They've said that it's going to start later this year. So, in fact, if you go check it out, they've started Grand Park. So the park has actually started. You're seeing some progress with that. The urban core, they're still doing a lot of land surveying and a lot of construction on the freeway right now. So that'll be a few years before you start to see that completed.
Where is it? Is this off Summerlin Parkway? Is this
Yep.
North, yeah.
215 and Summerlin Parkway.
Sorry, what were the HOAs?
235 at our community, 200 at Glen Rock.
And last but not least, are you guys cool with agents coming by to do like social media creations, posting, you know what I'm getting at?
Please do.
Right, you're good with that?
Yep, come our way. We are totally open to that. Whatever can help your business grow,
Okay.
whatever can help you find buyers in this market. We understand there's a lot of listings. The new home market hasn't been hit as hard as some of the resale markets we've seen, but those incentives are helping. But still, we are definitely noticing kind of a slowdown. So if you have a buyer that's looking, they need something specific, send them our way. We're happy to work with you guys. We're also paying, like Astrid mentioned, 2% commission at her community. We're paying 2.5% on the base price at ours at Cordillera. So we are raising commissions. We appreciate our realtors. We want you guys to send your buyers our way. So.
And on Wednesdays are our by appointment dates only, but we're usually in the office. Just give us a heads up. Just because sometimes we are off site, so we would hate for you guys to make the trip and we are not there. But yeah, we're definitely happy to have you guys take videos, shoot content. Please confirm the information on there. But yeah, we definitely would love to see you guys there.
And if we bring up a buyer, how many months do we have from the time they sign? It's
3
like-
months.
3 months,
Mhm.
okay.
Does anybody have any information on if there's gonna be new schools built on the west end of the west of 215 in this area?
I don't have any info on
I
that.
haven't heard anything, but I'm curious.
I know that our school district, we have Linda Rankins Elementary, which is a slightly newer elementary school. But other than that, I don't have any information.
But the big question, is there going to be a Smith's with a bar
There
in it,
is gonna be
like up in Sky
two of
Canyon?
them next to
You know, we need to know that, you know. There's going to be a bar at Smith's. You know.
We hear rumors through the roof.
Rumors?
Bill,
All right.
on
All
it.
right. Heck with the schools, Jason. We don't,
Love it. Thank you guys.
okay. All right, guys. Toll Brothers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, gang. In case you didn't notice, John Morgan is not here. Where's John Morgan? He's not here. He's in the Southwest. But he wanted me to thank you all for the Wind Down Wednesdays. A lot of you have been coming. A lot of fun. Some of you leave here a little half with a half a bag on, if you know what I mean. You know, from all the liquor that he provides us with, but we appreciate this. And he does have some, I think, classes that he's doing also. So if you kind of look through this, he just did a CE class in the Northwest. It had 38 people in the room. 38. That's crazy. So he's attracting some outside agents too, but mostly it's from Realty One Group for the most part. Where is she? Maria, do we want to give some pearls of wisdom to them here? Are we okay? Anything we want to talk about this? Or that's the old one, right?
Just this really quick. You guys are doing like an awesome job at putting in your referrals and your BBRAs and your pre-contract, so keep that going. The only problem that we have is you kind of forget sometimes to go back into that folder and then click on accepted contract once you have a contract, because what we're finding is duplicate files. We have one with your BBRA and a pre, and then all of a sudden you go into contract and then you open another, file. We don't need two, you just need the one. So just make sure that you click on accepted contract, and then that will open the file and you can start putting in your purchase agreement and all of your information. Got it?
Easy peasy? Okay. Last thing, gang, unless you guys have some questions, a couple of agents want me to mention they think that short sales might be returning. Maybe not in a big way, but we've seen a handful lately, okay? And some of you have no idea what that is, okay? So my advice is if you see a short sale class somewhere, go take it, okay? Otherwise, you're going to have to refer that out to someone else, which is okay too. But if you're relatively new or you've never done a short sale, we're probably not going to let you do it because of the liability, okay?
Have you seen LVR launching short sale classes?
They've talked about it, actually, yeah, but
From what I'm hearing, I mean, we might see a little bit of a bump in the foreclosure market and short sales come along with that.
Yeah.
The ones who bought a couple years ago.
Well,
Yeah.
it's really the people that did loan modifications or, adjustments back when COVID hit, right after COVID, they went into a 5-year, something like that. That's what I was talking to, Joe Iolucci.
Mhm.
He was on one of the CE Zooms that was on this last month.
Yeah.
And he had a smile on his face. He's a big REO agent. He's like, yeah, Damon, they're coming. So, get prepared.
Yeah.
Some
And-
people that are defaulting on their mortgages are
and just be,
Agency in the office which are, we could refer them to?
say it again?
Which agent in this office would?
There's a girl, Francois Myers, who's on Mary's team. Francois Myers. Back in the day, when we were all doing short sales, her and her husband probably did 500 of them. That's all she did. She had billboards up in town.
Go get the training, don't refer. Go get the training.
Yeah.
It's money.
Yeah, we want you to make the money, okay? We just want you to be careful there, that's all, okay? They're not that hard to do, but it's going to consume your life. Just so you know. It is. You're going to be, because there's so many things, if they go wrong, the liability is enormous on you, on us. So like Damon said, we want you to make the money, but we want you to be careful at the same time. And also be careful. I read an article in the LVRJ last week. Notice of defaults up, I think it said 38%. Okay. That means it went from 87 notice of defaults to, 104. But percentage-wise, it's 38%. So just be careful when you see those headlines. Yesterday, I went in MLS. I think there was 90 active short sales and REOs out of 10,000 listings. So there's not a lot, okay? But your clients might see these headlines that say 38% in defaults or whatever, and it's true, but the numbers are so small, any increase makes it look like it's enormous, okay?
New agents, so maybe they don't don't quite understand what a short sale is, so.
You can tell them when. Why don't you tell them?
So basically, guys, it's when you bought the house for $500,000, and now they're having struggles paying their house payment or whatever, but they want to sell. But now it might be only valued at $400,000, and they're like, "What do I do? Because if I sell it, I have to come out of pocket $100,000." So they have to go to the bank and ask to sell it short. But then when they hire us, that's why Tim was saying it consumes you, because now we have to start talking to the bank. And back in the day, it was every Monday I'd call up, and then you need this department. They switch you, then they drop you. Then you call up again, then they switch you, drop you. Okay, now you call up again. So it does take a little bit of time. We've gotten better over the years. The banks have or whatnot. So it's just a process. So yes, learn it, but maybe shadow somebody for the first time if you're really not 100% sure on how you should be speaking with the banks. Because it does, you have to get waivers, and that the bank allows you to talk, and so it's a lot of stuff that you guys have to do, but you're not selling it. When we say short, we're like, oh, it's a fast sale. It's not a fast sale. They're getting better, but it's short in what they owe.
It's a short pay.
And in my opinion too, it doesn't mean the buyer's getting a better deal necessarily. A lot of people think they're going to get it for pennies on the dollar because it's a short sale. They're buying a short sale. The bank still wants market price if they can get it, right? It's going to add to it, but it doesn't mean they're going to get it for a steal necessarily if they go through that hassle of waiting.
And 10 years ago, and I guess it's the same now, for the bank to say yes, the buyer has to have quote unquote a hardship. Typically, I assume it's the same way now. The seller, my bad, has to have a hardship, not because they want to move. They got a job promotion in New Jersey, making $300,000, but now they want to sell their house and they're upside down. They might not get approved to do a short sale. Okay.
They go through the seller's bank statement.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
They go through everything, and you have to prove it. They'll ask you, well, what is this, $30 a month that you get? What is that for? They're literally going through everything. It's not like, oh, hey, I'm getting a divorce and we just want to, we're going to move across town because my kids are going to that school. No, it's got to be a serious hardship to show that you cannot pay your bills.
Right.
We have a class that we teach on that, Tim, and I'll see if
Please.
Might open it up to everybody.
Yeah.
Enhance as far as.
Yeah, I know some agents in town, like Joe Iolucci, go every day, get out the rosary beads, praying for the REOs and short sales to come back, right? Because if you were around back then, of those 10,000 listings, 9,000 were short sales and REOs. Swear to God, there was no equity. There was zero equity. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. To get a listing was easy. You just walk in the house and they'll give it to you. It was easy. Yeah, my first 5 years, all my deals were REOs and short sale listings. And then when the market got better and there was equity and I had to go on a listing appointment, I almost peed my pants. I never did one. For 5 or 6 years, I didn't know how to convince Anna to use me instead of Damon Caldwell because it was all short sales for 6 years. So I had to redo everything in my mind and figure out how to do a real listing appointment. So they might come back, but if you see a short sale class, take it. Okay, Zoom or whatever. If Damon has a class, we'll promote it. He'll do it. But they might start trickling back. So we don't want you to walk away from it, or you hear it, or you're afraid to tell your client, "Damn, Anna, you're upside down. This is going to be a short sale." And Anna, the client doesn't know what that means. They really don't have a clue. Normally, they're nervous about being 3 months behind, and the blue tape is on the door. So if you drive around your neighborhood and you see a piece of paper with blue tape, that usually means. Yes. The blue tape, years ago, every house had a blue tape on it. It's the funniest thing. The blue painter's tape said that you were going to be foreclosed on. So keep that in mind, too.
Probably a good time to start preparing for it, folks. Definitely. Yeah. Even if it upticks a little bit, may not become the main source of our market like 2008, 2009, but it definitely, you'll probably start seeing some cracks in our market.
And know how to represent your buyer. Like Heather said, the buyer might think it's a steal, or they might think it closes in 45 days. It might close in 4 months.
Yeah, you need to know the questions asked.
So your buyer has to be in the long game if they want this house, okay?
Don't you have to have a qualified, don't you have to have an offer before you can start the short sale?
Typically. Well, yeah.
Banks do differently, okay? So there's two approvals, the seller approval on the financials and everything that Wendy was talking about to see if you even qualify. And usually they're gonna push you into not paying your mortgage payment. If you got $100,000 in the bank and you're paying your payment, they're gonna be like, what's the problem? Keep doing what you're doing. Keep paying your payment, we're good. So they, that's where the cracks started happening in 2008 is, man, we weren't doing anything, so you start missing payments and show a hardship. And then the buyer approval. Some banks, the best thing to do is get the third-party authorization, when you had mentioned that, have your seller sign off on it, send it to the bank so you can start communicating with the bank, and find out the bank's process. They usually will now, back when we first started, they didn't know what they were doing, the banks. It was very new to them. Now they have packages and everything else, hardship. In fact, your client probably is receiving it before you even talk to them now. They're getting calls, they're getting help numbers, right? If you have somebody that's missing payments because of all the legislation changes that happened back in 2008, banks are very, very proactive. Say, hey, if you need help, call us, do this, that, whatever else. So we're probably receiving a lot of that stuff even beforehand now, but you need to make sure that you get that packet from the bank to say, hey, what does this seller need to fill out to get approved? And then they might even dictate the list price of that loan before your seller puts it on the market. And then when you receive an offer, then they go through that second process of approving that, the offer.
And don't advise your clients to skip their payment.
No, that was a
Never do that, no. And if you're on the buying side, when you call the listing agent, some of the questions might see, so Kate, I see you have a short sale. Have you ever closed one before? No. If I'm the buyer's agent, I'm not upset by that, but all right, no. I'd rather she's closed them before, but probably not many agents have closed them recently. There hasn't been any, okay? So you might see those older agents that have done it before taking over listings for agents in their office to get it done. But like Damon said, learn it. Don't give up 3/4 of your commission and just take a referral fee if you don't have to,
Well, no,
okay?
At the beginning stage, you might do that.
Sure, we all did.
I was doing expires and all that stuff, making all kinds of money, farming expires and all that stuff. And then I never expired a list until 2007, when at the very end of 2007, when we started seeing short sales pop up. And I was like, you couldn't sell them. I remember referring out to actually Donald Laner back then. I don't remember his name, but they were in the short sale game. I remember giving him one or two, and then I went and got educated.
Yeah.
And started taking them on myself, because that was if you didn't learn it, you were giving your business away back then. You weren't making any money doing anything else. So
Damon, you told you closed short sale. How much bank rate you commission?
it depends. Right now, we just closed one this week. So we just closed one this week, 3%.
Yeah, they'll pay. Yeah, they'll pay.
So yeah, we just
Yeah,
closed.
yeah. And I remember back in the day, and if short sales come up again, this might come back, a lot of us got our CDPE. Remember?
I'm an SFR.
Remember, Miller?
Short sale.
Right, I was a certified distressed property expert. That's what I was, because I took this $99 class. But it was a great class to take.
Yeah.
Forms and language and scripts on what to say to the bank, so good stuff.
We needed a
We-
WR to make sure that
we did.
training
Yeah.
books for that, for sure.
All right, kids, anybody have a great listing they want to promote real quick? Haya, you have any more good ones?
I have one. I just hit the market today.
It did, today.
New photos won't be up until Monday, because I couldn't get the photographer out there until Monday, but it's been coming soon for the last 3 weeks, that's give or take. In Summerlin, just right above 500 at 515. They just renovated the property, new carpet, resurfaced the countertops, everything else. Look it up, it's 10212 Via Roma, 10212 Via Roma.
VIA Roma,
Bring your buyer,
ROMA.
Get it sold.
Bam, look at that, there you go.
It's right around 1,650 square feet. 2-story home, right in the heart of Summerlin, right behind Summerlin Hospital.
Okay.
Another nice little community over there. Yep, there is a bath downstairs, not a bedroom, all 3 bedrooms are upstairs.
But how many homes,
What's that?
The number?
It's 10212 VIA Roma, ROMA.
and if you have a buyer that wants Summerlin under 600,000, do a search and see how many there are. There's not a lot. There's not a lot.
There's actually about
Yeah.
97
Yeah.
homes in Summerlin with the map I did, under 500,000 right now. I created a landing page in our
Right.
system for that as well.
And then your buyer wants a 1-story, that brings it down to 8, probably, or 12. Yeah, or something like that, yeah.
Sun City.
No, exactly, it's not Sun City. Right. All righty, gang, thank you all for coming, as always, appreciate it. Have some food, go make some money. Yep. Yeah, grab some stuff here if you need some extra before it goes to waste.